Wednesday, March 30th, the creation of humanity. The creation of humans is God's last act of creation, at least in the Genesis account. Humans are the culmination of the whole earthly creation, the purpose for which the earth was made. Read Genesis 1:26-29 and Genesis 2:7. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth." And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat." What is the connection between these two different versions in regard to the creation of humanity? That God has created humans in his image is one of the boldest statements of the Bible. Only humans have been created in the image of God. Though God made the beast of the earth according to its kind, Genesis 1:25 and KJV. God created man in his own image, Genesis 1:27 and KJV, emphasis added. This formula has often been limited to the spiritual nature of humans, which is interpreted to mean that the image of God is understood to signify only the administrative function of representing God, or the spiritual function of relationship with God or with each other. While these understandings are correct, they fail to include the important physical reality of this creation. Both dimensions are indeed included in the two words image and likeness, describing this process in Genesis 1:26. Now, while the Hebrew word tselem, image, refers to the concrete shape of the physical body, the word demut, likeness, refers to the abstract qualities that are comparable to the divine person. Therefore, the Hebrew notion of the image of God should be understood in the holistic sense of the biblical view of human nature. The biblical text affirms that human individuals, men and women, have been created in God's image physically as well as spiritually. As Ellen G. White clearly comments in the book Education, page 15, when Adam came from the Creator's hand, he bore in his physical, mental, and spiritual nature a likeness to his Maker. In fact, this holistic understanding of the image of God, including the physical body, is reaffirmed in the other creation account, which says that man became a living being, Genesis 2:7 and KJV. Literally, a living soul, nephesh, as the result of two divine operations, God formed and God breathed. Note that the breath often refers to the spiritual dimension, but it also is closely tied to the biological capacity for breathing, the part of the man that was formed of the dust of the ground. It is the breath of life that is breath spiritual and life physical. God will later perform a third operation, this time to create the woman from the body of the man. Genesis 2:21 and 22. A way to emphasize that she is of the same nature as the man. From the book My Life Today, page 126, it says, Man was the crowning act of the creation of God, made in the image of God and designed to be a counterpart of God. Man is very dear to God because he was formed in his own image. As Adam came forth from the hand of his Creator, he was of noble height and of beautiful symmetry. He was more than twice as tall as men now living upon the earth, and was well proportioned. His features were perfect and beautiful. His complexion was neither white or sallow, but ruddy, glowing with the rich tint of health. Eve was not quite as tall as Adam. Her head reached a little above his shoulders. She too was noble, perfect in symmetry, and very beautiful. Created to be the image and glory of God, Adam and Eve had received endowments not unworthy of their high destiny. Graceful and symmetrical in form, regular and beautiful in feature, their countenances glowing with the tint of health and the light of joy and hope. They bore, in outward resemblance, the likeness of their Maker.